Hello everyone, Manathrall here, and welcome to the weekly update video for RuneScape. Now, this week guys, if I scroll through correctly, there's actually no patch notes, because they put all their resources forth. Well, maybe not all the resources, but still, there's actually quite a bit of stuff this week actually, even though there's no quote-unquote primary update or patch notes. But when we get into it, you'll see there's actually quite a bit of substantial changes because of like a complete rework of an entire city. So that it's stuff that's actually kind of still much of a big deal if you ask me. But first up, we're going to announce the fact that there is now a permanent portable Vic. So you can get you can actually make him permanent now. And what you have to do is you have to withdraw a bond into your inventory. You have to access the bond inventory or interface, then locate portable trader. You'll click on the summoning stone in the inventory. You can deposit all your unwanted XP, and you can purchase items with it. And it says once activated, the portable trader remains available for 1 hour, and if you leave the game, this timer is paused. So if you get disconnected or if you have to go, it does get suspended and then it'll resume once you get back. It says, should you lose sight of the trader, he can be resummoned using the same stone. The portable trader can be accessed an unlimited number of times, while active. You can buy multiple stones, and they are remain available to you even after the promotion ends. So, that's pretty good for you guys. The cost of a bond, though, I'm not too sure if that is good. I mean, you gotta figure one bond, you're talking currently, the last I had seen, bonds are about 20 mil. So, only buy these if you absolutely are sure and you absolutely have a lot. And I like this little image right here because, if you take notice and you look into the loyalty section with Solomon, 574,000. That's that's some people do have, but the rune coins is 79,000. This is like I've never seen anybody with 79,000. Okay, so here's the facts about it. It does say, is this available for free to play players? And yes, it is. But of course, if there's anything in there that is members only, it'll only be members only. So that is something to keep in mind. This is how much does a portable trader cost? We discussed that as one bond, and this is, does this mean the regular Victor Trader is disappearing? No. So Victor Trader, free version of him will come back on special occasion type instances, such as I don't know, like I believe he's out in September, and like different holidays around different times, different events. So this is how long will the portable trader last? It lasts 1 hour. And this is, does this mean there will be portable traders everywhere? It says you can now place portable traders within 3 tiles of another player trader, or a 10 tile radius of the standard Victor trader. Players can only summon 1 trader at a time. So there's not going to be a lot of these for the simple factor of it costs a bond, so it costs 20 mil to get one of these stones, so you can use it so you can summon him. Now, if you do spend the currency, it does get transferred over. It doesn't you don't have that currency just for that trader. So once you earn that currency, just like everything else, you always have that currency until you spend it. So, an overabundant amount of these traders being out is very, very slim. Not to mention the bottom part of this where it says 10 tiles the radius of the standard Victor trader. I believe if you are using one of these when there's a standard Victor trader out, something is not quite right. It says, what if I forget where I put my traders? It says, don't worry, you can summon him again in most places, and that allows summoning familiars. So if your summons can go there, he can go there. Just you'll have to use the stone again to basically call him, if you will, to your said location. Now the big update for the week, and it's actually kind of a big update. It's both not only for mobile, but it is also for the game itself, because there's actually certain features that are actually going to be introduced to the game now as a result of this. So there's a lot of mobile updates. The UI, for those who have used it before, you can tell that this is actually a lot better of a UI. Now, this screen right here, if you tap that sword icon, like all these combat things will actually go away. So you don't actually have to worry about that. It's more streamlined. The buff bar, they expanded it so the changes are incorporated. This is the biggest change. It is that the buff and debuffs will now prioritize according to their importance. On mobile, there's room for only 4 buffs and debuffs to be shown, so they want to make sure the top 4 icons, the ones that are most important, will be displayed first. So that means like if something needs boosted or charged sooner, it'll show that, or refreshed, that kind of a thing. And combat abilities, this is lesser versions of several basic abilities have been added so that players can build a full rotation to reflect this new name convention. Mutated abilities have been renamed to greater abilities, so there's a little bit of a change. And then now there is also an eat food ability, which has been given to the Constitution skill book. Now this isn't really a big deal for desktop users. I highly doubt you'll be using this, but maybe you will. I mean, there's been a few instances where maybe that could actually fit really well, especially if you're using Revolution, to just have something that you could quick strike and then just keep going about your business. So it could actually be useful for hotkey for desktop as well, actually. Prayer. Well, they have different filters now that you can actually use. So there is a more in-depth filter where it's like what we're used to on a desktop, but then there's a shortened up version of it, which allows it to be condensed down, so you can just see the icons that you want to see, the ones that you can use, etc., etc. The activity tracker is getting replaced. It is now much more user friendly. This is a new activity tracker, lets you track up to 5 different goals at the same time. These goals might be quests, progress towards an achievement, D&Ds, daily challenges, or step on achievement pass. Performance, obviously, they're going to constantly be working on performance, making it better and better. So for the first time user experience, this is where it's actually going to have an impact on the game itself. There has been a Berthorp and Taverley decluttering. So everything has been basically decluttered in that section. Certain things have been rearranged. For example, the tree plot that was actually by the pet store is now actually within the farming section with the farming tutor. Some skill tutors have actually been, they actually got rid of because there's actually no point, and things have been condensed down. The gnome that was standing there, that was kind of a redundant shop, has actually been removed, and they moved like Balthazar and stuff like that. It's Berthorp and Taverley have gotten a complete and massive rework because of this. They just took the assets, they moved them around, but still, it looks a lot better. And now I think about it, I'll actually have that load up while I go over the rest of this. The achievement paths, upon leaving Tutorial Island, new players will be directed to Turiel, who will give them tasks, which will place their tasks on the island into the context of wider games. So you have your Tutorial Island, and then Turiel, which Slayer Master, he will start giving you assignments, which is actually kind of nice because it's actually something that is missing from the Tutorial Island, and is actually a big cornerstone for combat. But then there's also the trolls. This is the trolls at Berthorp Troll Cave, now hit harder and a bit more tough to encourage new players to properly prepare before fighting them. And then there's also the Ashdale tutorial and the Shadow over Ashdale quest, which that quest is actually very, very good. But the quest and its ship has now been moved to the Sunny Shores of Port Sarim, where he'll be available for all your questing needs. And iOS, there is actually some news for you. They have seen their interest in the iOS beta for RuneScape Mobile, and there is progress being made. However, there is still a little bit more work yet, so do be patient. Mobile patch notes. There is a made text positioning changes on the name of your character interface, changes the visual appearance of the currency pop-up in the inventory, made the close button bigger on Treasure Hunter, and made text use the correct skin color on the following interfaces. Treasure Hunter, name your character, here is summary tab, upgrades and extras, bond interfaces, invention materials, currency, player owned farm Stormbarn, made the close button on all models bigger, made some interface changes, widescreen interface widescreen to improve the appearance on mobile. Updated lots of interfaces to use the correct skin, improved the look of have you played RuneScape before interface, improved the performance of the world map, fixed an issue with keybinds not setting correctly, improved how interface handles tablets, improved the appearance of choose a tool interface, and then there's a few bug fixes to quick prayers. Twitch Prime, remember, grab your Twitch Prime memberships. You can get the reward of 200 rune coins, 15 keys, and 40 hearts of ice. You just gotta follow the link in the main page of RuneScape's website, so runescape.com. You'll click on this one, which is the September mobile update, and then you will be able to scroll down and click on that. RuneFest 2019 is coming up rapidly, but there is still some tickets available. So do get your tickets if you do want to go. I know me personally, next year, I made the announcement in a previous video, I will be going to RuneFest next year. And I will be recording the experience, or live streaming the experience on YouTube. So it'll be like my first live stream too, because obviously like I can't really live stream right now, but on the go like that, I can actually do that. So I will be live streaming some stuff within RuneFest. Obviously, I won't be able to do that the entire time because I would be streaming from my phone, and that would just absolutely kill my battery. So do keep that in mind. Facebook Companion, it's the RuneScape Companion app. It helps you with different guides and different information, so do keep that in mind and give feedback. They still are looking for feedback. Lootscape for this month, it looks like, again, they're actually doing this for this month, which is the Land Out of Time. So you are guaranteed 1 to 2 hunter marks, 250 resources and base camp resources, guaranteed drop from basic drop table, view counter goes up on orb. Chance base is a random skilling outfit piece if unowned, and either Nature's Balance or Loot's Cape if unowned. Now this is actually a pretty big deal if you think about it, because there is certain skilling outfits that are available to you through a lot of mini games. However, since the mini games have been becoming less and less of a target, this is actually a good way to get your skilling outfits. But the basic drop table is the prismatic small and medium stars, prismatic small and medium lamps, spirit, ruby, diamond, advanced pulse core, spring, silverhawk down, medium and small dungeoneering token box, uncut dragonstone, and the large, medium, and small cashbacks. Or cashback, sorry. You don't get all of those things. Alright. Now for the live streams for the week, there's only 2 as of now. But there is the Tuesday, September 3rd at 1600 UTC, month ahead Q&A. And there will be Saturday, September 7th at 1600 UTC, Scardy Ginge feature stream. So, these are the events for this week, and that is actually all the information for this week. However, we are actually going to log in here, and we are going to look at the brand new Birth Orb /Taverley Zone. I forget if I will actually have to use my authenticator or not, and it's loading very slowly, guys. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you have bad internet. This is why I don't live stream, guys. This is exactly why. But even this is actually taking a lot longer than it should. So I will try this again. So you'll try this again, and as you see, that loads very nice. If I can't get this to load in here in a couple seconds, we'll just call it a video, and I apologize. Oh, there we go. So, let's check this out. I need to go here anyway because I need to get my tickets. Obviously. But I've been doing a little bit of divination. Alright, so I wanted to actually kind of do it this way anyway because then I could teleport to the location and you can see the differences. Yep, okay, the differences actually did take place. So you'll notice that the keep is here still, the keep is exactly the same. There's Turiel, so right once you get here from the lodestone, you got that still here. Okay, so they removed the well that is here, but they did say to keep in mind that the well is still actually there once you start your repairing or fighting. It'll actually reappear. You'll notice the shift in the weather as you go further north. And here is the cave. As you can see, it's actually a little bit more well laid out. You got dead soldiers. You have a bunch of trolls over here. I think they're only level 1, but still you have a bunch of trolls. I see Ozan is over there. So you got that going on. But yeah, the keep is still there also. But now instead of like kind of like nothing, as you can see, like this area is a lot more open actually, where there's stuff originally pressed tight up against his tent. But now there's actually this. Looks like they didn't add the rain for some reason, but there's Commander Denulf, and everything that is treasure, like clue scroll related, sorry, actually has been modified, so it actually still does exist here. It's just now certain things have moved around. For instance, Commander Denulf is right there again, which this section used to be like over here, so this is actually pretty cool that it's like this now. So we'll go through like a little bit of a guide here of the new section of Berthorpe and Taverley. Obviously, right here is Balthazar. You know, don't forget to talk to him. Now, with this being my Iron Man account, I can't actually take part in it. But if you talk to him like that, he'll give you your free ticket per day, and then you can ask him if you get a hint about where Gilly Willikers is. You'll notice there's a lot more rabbits around, which is absolutely fantastic, because you can actually get them for your player-owned farm. As you can see, there's a little bit less tutors. The clan flag thing got pushed back and shrunk down a little bit, making that more streamlined. As you can see, there's a little bit less tutors sitting around because there's really no point. That well is still there, however, the sheep and cows actually got brought over here because the cows are already here, so why not just do that? The sheep were actually brought over too. They were given a little pen there. So if you do need wool, that's a good spot to have it actually. The chickens were actually brought over here too, and they just shrunk down the flax field itself. So there's the potato farm. There is the unfortunately dead willow tree for me, but there is the tree plant for you guys. If you head a little bit further down, there is that shortcut leading into Catherby if you do that quest. The lodestone, you know, some of this here is pretty much the same. The docks, as you can see, because they moved that ship, is a bit more cleaned up now. It looks a little bit better. Especially with it being a smaller dock, you don't have as much going on. Her cave is now gone. She's back on her little island because Turiel, that that system there has changed a little bit. But as you can see, this is more cleaned up. It looks a whole heck of a lot better, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but that to me looks a whole heck of a lot better. And I think, yeah, right here's your cave. And for those who do this, and which if you're not, you should, the stone blocks are actually extremely useful. And they did not forget about the cave. They just moved the entry point location, as you can see, to a bit further north. And then for those who are wondering about the Altar of Guthix, it is still here. It is just moved more into a wilderness-like location to make more sense of, you know, how Guthix really operates. And then the Hunter one is actually more into, like, closer to the wilderness type area. Not the wilderness, but, like, nature and wildlife. And then if you go up here, you still got, you know, this guild. I can't think of what it's called. But then you still have these houses. You still have everything here. Some houses were gotten rid of that were just pure extras, and some were kept. But, you know, everything has been moved around. See, Dunstan, he's still there. He's still forging away. He's just, instead of being back pressed up against the wall, he's now up here instead. So your shops are still here. Juan, he's still here too, and he just has a different type of a shop of a layout. To me, this actually looks a lot better. It looks a lot more clean. It doesn't look as cluttered. And hopefully, this is something they do throughout all of RuneScape in time, is trying to get this more streamlined and nicer looking. So, that'll actually be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, later guys.